Loading error.
Ah, hello.
Sorry, half of your self is still down there.
Yeah. It was a corrupted file. Do
Don't.
you reckon if you beam someone up or down, and then you change your mind halfway through, can you just hit like escape and then Control Z, and it'll bring them back?
Or like if you're beaming someone, does it copy them until the point of being beamed is complete and then delete the original version?
Oh yeah. I thought that's established fact that they murder everyone they beam.
Yeah.
But does it? Yeah. But also, does it? Because the beaming starts, and once the beaming starts, the beaming don't stop. But once the like they dissipate into energy. Has a snapshot been taken of them before the dissipation, or is the dissipation the snapshot of them?
Yeah.
At what point are they kill?
At what point does beaming start and life end?
Yeah.
Oh. I think we had Alex for a moment, but then he disappeared.
And then you remembered. No, hang on.
And then there was two.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, a global average across the world, I think everyone is exactly average. But on this podcast, good.
Fair enough. Nice.
Cool. Well, we haven't heard from Rich. Alex, you're in charge of Rich, so if you hear from him, let us know.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from him.
I haven't done my TVs of this week anyway, so.
Do you know what? I think I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Really?
I did have it open to like just do a load of years in bulk.
That's literally what I've just done. I've just done everything in bulk.
And then I closed it and didn't do that. So maybe I'll do that this weekend or tonight or something. I've just opened it up. I did make a note of when all the various Dragon Balls dubs came out to make sure I didn't miss them. But that's all we have, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, I'll see you next week.
Yep. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you've enjoyed this this podcast, no listicles either. I think you were lucky to get one that week.
Oh, we got some good news.
Episode 201.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. Apparently, Russell T Davies is coming back as showrunner for Doctor Who.
Fucking what?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen this.
I'd have to. No,
Let me just grab the article. So it's on Doctor Who official Facebook page.
What's the date? Is it 1st of April?
I'll send you guys the link. That'll be easier.
Yeah, the date was like April 2005. T. Davis becomes showrunner for a sci-fi show.
There we go. It's to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, and basically, I don't know if he's staying on, but it sounds like he is. There you go. It's in the chat now.
Even he saw how bad it got, and he's like, "Shit,
oh, I should break that."
Leaving?
Yeah. It's going to be cancelled again if I don't come and save this.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
No, say I was like, oh my god, yes.
So I'm reading. Sorry, I was googling whilst you were. So I was reading this other news article about it. So it's saying he will return in time for the 60th. It doesn't say that it's temporary in any sense. It just says he's returning as showrunner.
Yeah, return to screen, celebrate 60th anniversary of Doctor Who in 2023 and series beyond. Oh, okay, so yeah, well,
series beyond. There we are. That's
it stays on.
It's just like he brought the show back, and now he's realised that they're trying to kill it back off. He's like, no,
I bought this show into the world, and I can kill it.
Yeah. Only I have the on and off switch to the light support. I mean, if he does, then Doctor Who seems to be in the right direction. Yeah,
let's hope so. Like I don't remember the last time I. Oh, that was it. I think I watched the 4th episode of Jodie Whittaker's, and then I just gave up.
Yeah, you get some like masochistic fans, like someone I could mention, myself, who was determined to keep watching it regardless of what the quality is like, just because I'm a Doctor Who fan. I've got to watch it all.
That's why I was like, once upon a time, like it kept getting shitter and shitter, and the stories kept getting really stupid, and I was just like, I need to watch this through to the end. I need to see how it ends. And then the way it ended made me more angry than I could ever be, and then I just didn't watch the final season. I was just like, I was so angry. I was like, nah, screw this. I've had enough now.
See, the thing is, I'm so excited, but I don't think I've ever been this worried about Doctor Who before. Because like, what if like the first episode comes out and it's crap?
Yeah. What if he's lost his touch? But he did write that series recently. That have you seen It's a Sin?
No, I haven't. I really want to. Though.
Oh my god! I think it's the only series that I audibly gasped at with the ending. It's so shocking, and just, you need to watch it. His writing is amazing.
It does say here, Russell T. Davies says, I'm beyond excited to be back on my favourite show, but we're time travelling too fast. There's a whole series of Jodie Whittaker's brilliant Doctor for me to enjoy. With my friend and hero, Chris Chibnall at the helm.
Oh,
I'm still a viewer for now. So,
but it's a press release on the official Doctor Who site. It's already going to say, I've been quite disappointed with the way Doctor Who's been going the last few years, and I'm here to fix it.
I'm not going to say, oh yeah, you shit.
So don't worry about that.
I really hope it kind of breathes like new life into it and kind of brings it back from the brink of disaster again.
I don't think he's made a bad program, personally, Russell T. Davies.
No, I don't think he has. He's a great writer.
I haven't seen It's a Sin, questionable episode, but not a bad series.
Yeah.
I regularly mention Years and Years that he did that was so good, and had that classic Russell T. Davies make you love all these characters and then just break your heart afterwards.
Yeah, that's pretty much his most recent series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He makes you fall in love with these characters in such short amount of time, and it's just amazing how he does it. And
I mean, he made half the population of the world fall in love with Rose Tyler, and that's a bloody good job. So
the male half, with some exceptions.
There's just a big fan base for Rose, and it's like, get over. But sorry,
I love Rose. I love Rose. Before Amy came along, Rose was one of my favorite companions. And then Amy and Rory came along.
Oh.
No, not my Amy. Amy Pond.
Yeah. You used to love Rose until you met Amy, and then she banned you from watching any episode with Rose in. She just
weird
doesn't
bullshit there.
like Billy Piper for whatever reason.
Just imagine like you go on like a first date with someone and they've got a little badge on their lapel that just says "I hate Rose." You sit down and just go, "Let me tell you about Rose Tyler."
Oh god. Rose was my favorite, and then Amy Pond came along, and I absolutely loved her and Rory. And then Clara started out great, but I feel like Stephen Moffat couldn't let her go.
Oh,
and he kept bringing her.
Definitely should have killed her off when he had the chance.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
I think that's just Stephen Moffat, though. He can't properly kill someone. Rory and Amy are dead. No, they're not. They're just trapped in New York.
I didn't mind because it was
Bill is dead. No, she's not. She gets revived and taken across the universe by her lesbian alien creature. Clara's dead. No, she's not. She gets brought back by the Doctor. None of Moffat's main companions permanently die.
I think the really sort of angered me the most, though, is that whilst obviously Rory also was the one, haha, he kept dying. Amy didn't die, and when they kind of both died, that was it. That was their kind of final exit, and we didn't see them again. Whereas with Clara, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, really emotional death, and she just kept coming back over and over and over. So in the end, it was like, her death's not really that emotional anymore.
Do you mean she come back the once after?
Just once,
death?
yeah. She only died once, because otherwise, like before that, the whole point of her character was that there were multiples of her.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't get on the character. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. I just didn't like her.
Definitely the episode, because this was after I'd instigated spoiler-free lockdown. So I had no idea she was leaving. I didn't know she was going to die, anything like that.
Yeah.
The episode when she was killed was so good because you got to see the consequences of her trying to be the Doctor. The Doctor had to cope with it and went through his little character arc. And then they were just like, oh no, she's actually fine.
Yeah.
It was such a
That's
waste.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
It's
say
just-
that's Moffat, though. I wouldn't
It
say that's
wastes the
anything
emotional
to do with
impact.
Clara.
Yeah.
It's not Clara as a character, it's just Moffat can't kill people off.
Yeah,
Clara's
I think
funny. Sorry.
So I think I need to give. I didn't kind of watch much of Peter Capaldi's run with Clara just because she just irritated me so much. But I think I do need to try and give it another shot.
I think she's at her
So,
best
you know.
with Capaldi, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It
it's
was
funny.
the whole doctor companion lovey-dovey thing with Matt Smith. As soon as Capaldi came along, it kind of felt like they'd secured their proper sort of relationship between them.
Yeah. But yeah, Clara's so
Okay.
divisive when you see people's opinions. It's either like people just say literally the opposite. So like you said, you know, your opinion of Clara just got worse and worse and worse. But I was like, I thought she was a bit crap at the start, but then she just got better and better and better.
Yeah, I don't know
Got
what
with
I just.
Capaldi, yeah.
I feel like maybe it's because I haven't watched the her and Capaldi series properly. 'Cause I kind of sort of dipped in and out of episodes. And I didn't kind of sort of know what the full arc was with her. But her arc with Matt Smith when she was sort of the Impossible Girl, I found that really interesting because there was a mystery to her. You didn't really know what was going on, and then when that kind of happened, it was just like, okay, what's she doing here now? What's the point of her being here? Like, she just, what are you doing here?
You've served
See,
your
I found it
purpose.
too.
Go home.
I found it too annoying when she was with Matt Smith because she had to be this special person in his. She couldn't have just been a human he
Okay,
made friends with. She had to have this special, deep, dark, hidden backstory like every Moffat character has to have. And it's like, I think I just preferred her with Capaldi because by that point they'd gotten over the Impossible Girl thing. And she was just a human trying to be too hard to be like the Doctor.
Doctor, haven't you figured it out yet? The Impossible Girl. It's you. No, Chip, no.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I haven't even watched like any of Chip and what I watched the first sort of 3 or 4 episodes, and I just gave up after that.
Yeah, you can skip Chibnall Run.
Skippinal. I can't.
It
This has made my day. Honestly, I don't think I can understate this enough. Wow.
It did kind of annoy me because like when it was announced that Chibnall was coming on as writer, I'd watched Broadchurch and I was like, oh, that's an amazing show. David Tennant and Arthur Darvill and Jodie Whittaker, amazing show, absolutely awesome. And I was really looking forward to it. And then also when the premiere happened and the subsequent episodes, I was like, this isn't good.
I don't think I'd ever forgotten Chibnall's Cyberwoman episode, so I wasn't exactly excited.
That's fair enough. So I'll be back a second. The oven's going off. 1 minute.
Oh.
I got cookies in the oven.
Oh.
Okay. I just thought he was getting robbed for a moment. Then his alarm's
The
going off.
oven's leaving. It's like the little
okay.
the machine
oven's
on the
going off.
moon in A Grand Day Out, Wallace and Gromit. Just little wheels come up and it
Oh.
leaves.
Yeah. Oh.
What was I going to say? Oh, I've forgotten now. Oh, Chibnall, yeah, because I haven't seen Broadchurch, but obviously
No.
I knew everyone said it was amazing. So I thought, Chibnall, he'll be great at this. And then I looked at it, like his Wikipedia page and saw the ones he'd written, and I thought, will it? Yeah.
I just don't think Chibnall's good at sci-fi.
It doesn't
Good
look
at
like it.
realistic,
Well, yeah,
gritty
'cause
dramas and shit. because-
He wrote Countryside, didn't he?
but that wasn't even the sci-fi episode. That
exactly.
Was,
Exactly.
yeah. I think he's good at gritty, down-to-earth drama, but as soon as you start throwing aliens in, he kind of loses his way.
Yes. The conversation hasn't moved since you left.
No, we're still on Chibnall. Just basically saying I think he's good at sort of gritty, down-to-earth drama, but as soon as you start trying to get him to do sci-fi, he's kind of bad at it. He might be the biggest sci-fi fan in the world, but he can't write it for shit.
Can't write it, no.
Yeah, because like one of the best episodes he wrote for Torchwood was an episode that didn't involve aliens at all.
Oh, okay, what episode was that?
Countryside, and it was just about a bunch of cannibals in the country.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and like the whole time you're there thinking, oh, what's the alien twist gonna be? What's the alien twist?
There is
gonna
none.
be? There isn't one. It's just a bunch of fucked up humans killing people and eating them. But that's
Okay,
what
that sounds
made
like a really
the
interesting episode.
Yeah, that's what made the
I
episode.
need to watch
good.
Torchwood. I haven't actually watched it.
Oh.
Maybe we'll get around to it at some point.
I watched the first 2 episodes, and then after the sex episode, I was like, "What the hell is this show?"
Series 1's hit and miss. Series 2 is hit and miss. Series 3 is amazing.
Series 3? Oh,
Series
Series
You got to
3.
get to series 3 first.
Yeah.
You can definitely like sort of do the little thing where you sort of like scrunch your lips up and screw your nose and nod. Yeah, Series 3. Yeah, Series 3.
I do agree.
And then Series 4 was also there, but I guess that, we don't need to worry too much about
Series
that
4 wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
It wasn't bad. It was just wasn't Series 3, was it?
Series 4 was too long.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If they had maybe tried to condense Series 4 into a 5-parter like Series 3, they might have had a better chance.
A bit better, yeah.
A better chance, yeah. Yeah, you see, yeah.
Did I have any biscuity boils? Let's have a look.
I don't think I did today. I don't think
I didn't mention. I forgot to mention on the podcast. I did mention it in the halftime break on last Digimon, but just about my dream where I was me and some other people were in a hotel room with this rich businessman, and at some point I clobbered him around the head, and then we had to try and make it look like an accident so that we wouldn't be caught. And he had a pet python, so we were trying to get the python to eat him. Any questions?
Oh, what?
There were these other people there, and I think like we locked them in the ensuite so that they wouldn't like get out. But then the businessman kind of woke up because the python was biting him, so it turns out he was fine. But he because of the knock on the head, he couldn't remember. So this all happened as I was just throwing a bit of fish and chips in the bathroom in the ensuite for the people in there, so they wouldn't starve to death. But luckily, it all worked out in the end.
Okay then. Whatever you say.
But what reminded me of that is that I had another dream last night that I realised when I woke up has been a bit of a recurring theme in my dreams. It's just obviously you forget it until like it crops up a couple of times. Where it's like Danny DeVito is there, but he's got like no skin on the front of his body. It's just like you can see down to his organs.
Oh, ew.
And that's just how he lives because of some medical condition. They had to have his skin taken off, and it's like him giving interviews and stuff.
Jesus Christ. That is like messed up.
That's just Danny DeVito, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just what it looks
Puts on
like.
Human skin before each episode, yeah. It's
So
a
anyway-
Sabine!
Oh my god!
He just puts on a human skin at the start of each one.
But yeah, the hotel room one, I'm pretty certain happened because I'd recently watched an episode of what's it called? The Roald Dahl one, Tales of the Unexpected.
Oh, okay.
Which
For
was
a moment, I
like,
thought you were going into the Voyager theme.
it was a guy trying to kill someone in a hotel room, basically an assassin. So that's obviously why that was in my head. Where Danny DeVito with no skin on his front came from, I've no idea.
You were trying to picture him as Phil from Hercules, but
I don't really know anything about Hercules.
Fur.
Well, I know about the myth, but not.
What the little like satyr? Is it a satyr? It's like the little goat man.
Right.
Oh,
Get-
Saber. I think that's what it
No,
is.
no.
No?
All I know about Hercules is in primary back in Blaze, in fact, whenever people used to like play Hercules or whatever at break time, because that was a film that had recently come out, everyone always chose the good guy to be, and I was always the last to choose. It meant I was always Hades. And it's probably why I'm such an edgelord today.
But then, growing up and rewatching that film, Hades is one of the best fucking characters of the film.
It's hilarious.
So I listened to the
Whatever,
Doctor Who
not important.
Big Finish thing called 100.
Thing. Yes.
And
You started last week and you finished this week.
Yes. So I did like how in one of the parts, I won't spoil it, but in one of the parts, the Doctor solves the problem and they go off on their merry way. And then there's like a postscript to the episode where it turns out the villain actually tricked the Doctor and the villain is back and is still exacting their evil plan for the rest of time. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a shock. but I liked it. And then in one of the parts, they go on like a magical mystery tour of like visiting other doctors because the doctor's looking for something that happened in his past. Yeah.
This is like the final of the 4 stories, I think. This is the one that I always remembered the most of the 4 individual stories.
Yeah. But it was cool because there was just a lot of kind of fourth wall breaking and like comments on how each doctor was perceived and about the audience as well. And because he mentions the audience, that's right. He says, for the audience. And I can't remember which companion he's with. It's Evelyn, isn't it? It goes,
It's Evelyn, I think it's Evelyn, yeah.
What do you mean the audience? What audience? And the doctor says, well, the Time Lords, they always keep an eye on things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think
we'll get to a big finish at some point, Alex.
Okay.
I made a note of a quote that Evelyn asks, why is it never one of the first 4 that we run into? And the doctor says, oh, just coincidence. And it's cool. They also went to the Unbound universe as well, so it was like they chucked all the big finishes in, which I quite liked. It's just really an excuse for me to once again say, listen to Big Finish, everyone, because it's great.
I mean, it was their 100th release, so it made sense that for that one they'd kind of fan wank a little bit.
Yes, because like for the 50th ones, they did all those specials about the villains, where it was very much kind of like in-universe wank.
Yeah, it was like it was a fan wank for the people that have gone through Big Finish and kind of know it all and shit.
Yeah, whereas 100 was just like, hey, it's us. We're great.
Generic Doctor Who fan wank.
Yeah. There is also a teaser out for the new Digimon series, Ghost Game.
Oh.
It's only 30 seconds and you barely see anything in it, but I thought it might be of interest.
Oh, okay.
It looks like there's going to be a cool a villainous Clockmon in there.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh, that Clockmon looks pretty sort of demonic.
And do you see the bit where he rapidly ages someone to death, apparently?
Not yet. Hold on. Right. Oh, crikey. Oh, yeah. Oh, crikey. And, like, I love in the trailer that it's sort of like the person ages to death, and then it just cuts to a girl smiling.
What's this?
There's a new trailer for the next series of Digimon that Christian's linked in the Discord.
I've linked in the dinked.
Which season is this now? I lost count after season 2.
Ghost Game. There's no number.
Season. Well, I don't know. If we're going by season number, we're on like 10 by now, I guess.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Too many
season
seasons.
1, season 2, then there's Tamers, then there's Frontier, then there's Data Squad, then there's Xbox Wars, then there was Applimon, then there's Try, then there's Adventure 2021. Might be the 10th.
Try wasn't a series, Try was movies. They haven't, so it's not counted in... Counting Try, Ghost Game is number 10.
Even though we reckon it should have been released as a series rather than movies.
Yeah. Yeah, Adventure 02, Tamers Frontier, Data Squad Fusion, Apply, Adventure 2020, Ghost Game. Congratulations, you passed the test.
So, technically 9, but the 10th Digimon animated production made.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. No. Cool, I guess.
Yeah, Try is listed under films 12 to 17. And then Kazuna's 18. Untitled Digimon Adventure 02 film. Wait, what?
Oh, wait, yeah, no. So technically, I've heard of the Untitled Adventure 02 film at one point. So technically Ghost Game's 11 if Kazuna's there as well.
But Kazuna's definitely just a film, it's not a series. At all.
But even then, in terms of like Digimon Productions.
Yeah, you could look at like Generation, isn't it? Kind of thing, yeah. French.
I nearly cried. I cried. Well, I wish I could cry, but I almost cried at the Kazuna ending. I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Part of your childhood.
Yeah, because I had to mention to Christian to watch it again, but because when me and him first watched it, we were kind of taking the piss through most of it, so we didn't really feel the feels as deep as we did the second time I watched it with you.
Yeah, like the emotional connection. It's just like, oh my god.
I had to stop myself crying when me and Alex watched it that time.
Yeah, we were both just all like all welling. We're like, nope.
Did we watch the sub or is it dubbed? I can't remember.
No, we watched the dub.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good dub actually.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
well, yeah, because it was all the
Oh,
same.
that's right.
It was all the same cast apart from like one or two.
Yeah,
And yeah, is it Gabumon? Like,
yeah.
his voice, like, I know they got the same voice actor back, but did he just not go back and rewatch some of what he did previously
Yeah.
so he knew what voice to use?
It's me,
It sounded so
Gabumon.
different. It was ridiculous.
I'm Gabumon now.
It definitely kind of sort of took you out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like the way I've always described Gabumon's original voice is like he smokes 50 a day.
Yeah,
Gabumon! I'm Gabumon Headeye!
it's like he's struggling to talk.
I'm
Yeah.
a showbiz agent. I work with all the great stars.
I think that's what we need, is like parodies of other films, but starring the Digimon from Adventure.
Like the start of Rugrats in Paris.
Yeah, but with Digimon. Yeah, that's exactly where my mind.
Wait, what? Sorry, say again?
So you know at like start of Rugrats in Paris, they basically piss take of the Godfather films.
And let me tell you,
yeah, I haven't watched that film in ages.
when I
I remember.
when I finally watched The Godfather, I was in fits at the first scene because it is like a shot-for-shot remake from Rugrats. Godfather is a remake of Rugrats in Paris.
I didn't know that. I've never seen. I think I did. I think I watched the opening scene of The Godfather in film class, and I completely forgot that was the parody in Rugrats in Paris. I used to freaking love that film as a kid.
I know I've watched one of the Godfathers once upon a time, but I can't remember anything about any of them. So you asked me to remember the Godfather, I'm remembering Rugrats in Paris.
You get the gist from that. Rugrats in Paris is great as well. I mentioned it was on TV last year or something, and I rewatched it. And it was like I found that I remembered half the jokes.
That song that sings about his mum, like I remember as a kid, like being obsessed with that song.
Oh,
Even as a teenager, that song, like it's such an emotional song. You're like, oh my god, like for a kids' film.
Rugrats films were great. They were.
Yeah. Do you want to say I had something that made me feel very old recently?
Oh, was it a hernia?
So I went to no, I went to a concert. We went to a concert on Thursday, and we were
Was
there
it like
and
Golden Oldies, and it was like Sum 41?
No, it was All Time Low concert, right? And this is a band I'd loved since I was like 16, and I remember first hearing them, and I was like, I'm going to see this band in concert one day. And I finally got a chance to.
I missed who it was. Sorry, because I was.
All Time Low.
Okay.
They're like kind of like sort of emo band.
Yeah, I know.
And we went there, and they're playing their set, and it was really great. And they played one of their songs from the very first album that I heard from them. And this was back in like 2009. And it's a very well-known song. It was kind of a song that kind of sort of catapulted them to kind of like mainstream popularity.
Yeah.
And they started singing it, and everyone in it, we were all like screaming. We're like, yes! And I looked behind me because Amy was behind me, and I saw behind her there were these two girls, and they looked probably about, I don't know, maybe like 16 or so, and they just looked at each other so confused, and they didn't know the lyrics at all. And I just saw them, and I was like, oh, I feel old.
I can't remember what it was, but I had a moment like that at some point, like early in the week.
Oh yeah.
Where it was just like one of those things where like a TV show or something, you realize how old it is, and you're kind of like,
oh yeah,
fucking hell, really? Or it's something where like a big YouTuber who's technically younger than you are, but you don't think they are because you never pay attention to anything like that, and then they'll mention something about how this series or film was out the year they were born, and you're like,
yeah.
Well, I was like 5, 6 when that movie was. Oh, what?
So you see reaction videos, and it's like, the Harry Potter series, Lord of the Rings, and they're like, oh, I've heard of this, I've never seen it, and I always think, how could you have missed this? And then and then like you say, you have that moment where you realise that they were probably 3 years old when it came out.
Oh god, yeah. That's pretty much how I felt. And I was just like, just see the confusion on their faces, and I was like, how do you not know this song? And then I was like, oh wait, yeah.
Actually, I think I remember exactly what it was. It was a Power Ranger series, and it was these guys, like, basically a guy who likes the Sentai was taking his friend who likes Power Rangers through some of the Sentais, and the guy who likes Power Rangers saw like the 20th Power Ranger series or like the 40th Sentai series, and was like, oh, that's the one I used to watch when I was a kid. And I was there thinking, I was already in college by the time that series of Power Rangers came out.
Oh my god.
I remember going over to Sainsbury's and buying a sword from that particular Power Rangers series in college.
Jeez. When I worked in the charity shop, one of my my managers, like, she said that someone bought in like a Walkman or something, or like a portable CD player. I can't remember what it was. And one of the volunteers was like, "Oh, what's that?" And she was just like, "What?" She had to show them what it was, and they were like, "Why can't you just stream stuff?" And it was just like, "Oh my god."
We did. That was the satellite dish.
Yeah.
But it just makes you feel so like it just makes you just feel so old.
Yeah. The other one that I immediately thought of was when you see discussions about, the merits of various different Pokemon generations, and there'll always be someone like, "Oh yeah, my first game when I was a kid was Black 2 or whatever, so I've always got a soft spot for that."
Yeah.
What?
Didn't that came out in like what 2011, wasn't it?
Black and oh, actually,
Dunno.
Black and White was when we were in college. I think.
Yeah, I was saying, 'cause I'd never played it, but I remember it coming out, and I remember seeing it like in shops.
Because I think it might have been Black and White or Black and White 2 that I went over to Sainsbury's, the same Sainsbury's,
They've got everything.
to buy the day. Yeah, the day it was out. I was in college that day, and I remember on like the first lunch break. It wasn't lunch. It was just that like 15-minute break you get before, so you could like go out, have a cigarette or whatever. I used that time and I ran to get to Sainsbury's and back in time, sort of thing.
What did you buy a copy of it like the day it came out?
The day, yeah. I went over to say, yeah. I couldn't before work because college because the Sainsbury's wasn't open that early.
Okay.
It opened at like 9 or something, and we started college at like 8:30. So then I had to wait
started.
for the. I thought like depends what one. We were in different classes, though. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I just had to run over in my break time, get one of the games, and then I played it until lunch, and I got told off because I was playing it in lesson.
When does BDSM come out? Brilliant.
Sorry, what?
Diamond and Shining
What'd you
Pearl.
say?
Pokemon BDSM, the next one. 19th of November. Okay, got a while then. I feel like I'm
Sorry,
going to miss
what's
it.
that actually called?
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So BDSP.
But
why did you call it BDSM?
Why wouldn't
like,
you?
like what was it? What was it we called?
LGBT.
LGBT is Let's
Yeah.
Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Okay, I like that one.
But that could also be low density polyethylene if you prefer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what we have at work. We have this project to clear up part of the database. They call it supplier data management, which is SDM, and I always call it BDSM. But you have to judge the audience before you go into that one,
yeah.
obviously.
Oh god.
Yeah, you look for the sexual thing in anything, don't you?
Yeah. Okay. 19th. I say that's not that far away. 19th of November, is it? A month and a bit. Month and a half,
No,
maybe.
so-
Out that, yeah. You guys doing anything for Halloween?
I never really do anything for Halloween.
No.
That's more than a month
We've recorded
away.
the Halloween video. We've got that ready. Kind of all my plans. Make sure I got that edited in time.
Fair enough. Have you started editing the Star Wars?
I've started.
Nice.
Star
It's
Wars
a slow process though. I've edited the first 12 minutes worth of video, I guess.
Nice.
This will all be available on TS Reactions.
Yeah. That's because we the first 9 minutes or so is us leading into the. It's just
Really?
us
It was
trying-
9 minutes? Jesus.
It was the intro is a good 9.5 minutes long,
And you haven't edited that down?
and I've edited some bits out, and then I've tried to like zoom in fancily at other bits, and
Fair enough.
But then
Nice. Awesome.
yeah.
You can do the thing where you put the timestamps in the description, and then people who don't want to hear your discussion can just like hover over the time bar and go straight to the reaction.
I mean, I could do that, but that
Won't somebody please think of the audience?
Professional of me. Yeah, but if I do that, then that stops them having to click through a couple of times to find the exact point, and me getting a couple more seconds of view time.
It just gives you a little preview thumbnail when you hover over it. If there's no timestamp, look for the thumb. And the third day, look to the thumb. It will be Gandalf with the Rohirrim.
The only the thing is though, is with my you can try and scroll through, but I don't like add just a box of the window up anymore, do I? The visual is within the set of the console on the.
Yeah, but you can see
screen.
when it changes from a blank screen to a not a blank screen.
You could, but that's where I've got images popping up throughout the the introduction discussion on the screen, like the Star Wars logo and stuff.
You're ready to foil me at every opportunity.
Yeah. Although I did do a joke you might appreciate, Christian. Is I introduced it by coming out of the TARDIS stores wearing a Star Trek T-shirt and thinking that we'd. But you said we were doing Star Trek, right? No, Star Wars.
It's a shame. It's a shame we couldn't have done it on a day when I was also there, so that I could have come in for the intro, and then you could have like pushed me out the room, and I would have gone home.
We'd have to just try and record just like a brief bit when you come up next of you sort of poking your head round the door and saying, "Do you need me for this one? No, and then you just poke your head back, and we just cut to it or something."
It's a shame you haven't got like some kind of, like a big chest, like a toy chest or something kind of thing that I could just be in.
Yeah. It's already. We've already locked Richard in the box. We can't have two of you in there.
Like a Father Jack's underwear hamper.
Okay. Oh, dear.
I just find that image quite funny of me just being like underneath a load of stuff, and you just like take a video off of a pile of, and my face is there. Is it time for Star Trek now? We like not the shelf that's got all the display on it, but the little thin one next to it where I put all my Doctor Who stuff. Yeah. And I just like slide out a chunk of the Doctor Who DVDs, and your head's just there. Or out of like the food dispenser or something. Yeah. My severed head comes disgustingly falling out of the food dispenser. We can do that, can't we? I think we can do that. You can cut my head off. Give a bit of a run up with, have a go on the hacksaw on the spine, but I reckon.
I mean, it'd have to be practical effects and shit.
Yeah.
Oh well.
We need like when Daniel Radcliffe has got the full size scale model of himself. Because he was in a film where he was playing like a corpse that had come back to life or something, and so they made him as a corpse for some of the scenes, and so he asked if he could keep it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound familiar. We just need a couple cut out of you at least.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, then you wouldn't need me for like inserts or B-roll or anything. You could just use the cardboard cutout. Have like a little mouth that moves on it and eyes that look from side to side. No one will notice.
Oh my god. I have obviously I've not watched any of the modern Pokemons, but I've just found like my favourite 20 seconds worth of clip ever.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Turn Attack. I'm disappointed.
No.
It was Turtle Race in a nutshell.
Yeah. I think it's just the first time in the anime I've seen all of the turtle Pokemon together.
Oh.
Ah, cool.
Thought there was going to be a funny moment or something.
No. I literally just saw it. I haven't even watched the whole thing. I just saw there was turtles.
Turtles are not tall. Tur quite short.
What are we waiting for?
Not waiting for anything.
Huh? No.
Sorry,
I'm talking. Jesus, I know they're not all comedy gold, but it's not bad.
That's all right. I thought they said whilst we're waiting. I was like, what are we waiting for?
Well, we were for a second waiting for you, but you're back, so we're not waiting.
Sorry. I was checking on my cookies.
Oh.
Okay.
Have you baked 427 nonillion cookies like in Cookie Clicker?
No, not baked them.
No. You haven't ascended.
I made some white chocolate chunk cookies with like I guess like Nutella spread in the middle, but our oven is so crap, so it said like, yeah, bake for 15 minutes, and it's literally taken like half an hour. And I think my first batch were like really raw. So, oh well, still tastes nicer.
Are they like gooey cookie style, like American
I tried
style?
to make them like that.
Yeah.
They haven't really turned out like that.
Oh, that's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
What was I going to?
I don't know. I've switched off my link to your 5G, so I don't know what you were going to
Forgotten.
say.
Yeah, no. I'm in the Faraday cage at the moment, so you won't be able to connect.
I thought so.
It's just like
What you do when you're not in digital, you have to protect yourself from the digital with a Faraday
yeah.
cage.
There's off the top of the tower. There's like one of those little side turrets that you get on in fantasy castles, and then hanging from that side turret is just a cage with a desk and a computer and a chair on it and me. And I have to like jump into it and then swing out when I'm finished.
Oh. Actually, that's just made me feel. So, still clicking through YouTube, it's just made me feel old when like the 4th generation of Ben 10 is considered classic Ben 10. This is like the generation of Ben 10 that was out when we were in like college and stuff, and he himself had grown up to like 16, but they're calling it classic here, and I don't like that.
Kids these
It's
days.
like, yeah.
Oh, do you know what I thought of during the week? Has Billiam done any good videos recently? We haven't had a Billiam section for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm asking, I was hoping someone else would have been watching him because I haven't kept up to date with my subscriptions at all. Oh, Ben 10 is a classic.
Yeah, I think he's been a bit lax actually. He hasn't uploaded in a month, and then before that he didn't upload for a month before that.
Ooh.
Whereas he used to do like 2 to 3 a month, but now he seems to only be doing 1 a month. Ooh. We had the last one we had was learning with Leapfrog, which I didn't really use much Leapfrog stuff when I was a kid.
No, I didn't either. Like,
Look at the views. His Ben 10 videos were getting so many views, and then like he's done other stuff because he's not a Ben 10 channel, and those have got like half the views. Maybe he's just got a bit dispirited.
Well, I don't know. His When Shark Week Lied to Everyone got 520.
Oh yeah.
It's just his Discovery Kid and Leapfrog thing. But even then, looking back, the average is like 2 to 300k, whereas the Ben 10 ones were hitting like 3 to 500k.
We can do the thing that they do on the news, where instead of like hiring journalists and reporting on the news, they just read Twitter. He tweeted 4 hours ago to say that he's on anxiety meds. So he's probably had a mental issues.
What, Billiam?
Yes.
Oh, looks all right.
Yeah. All the best.
Oh, he's making a video about Lost, which he was trying to get out. He was trying to release on the 22nd of September because that's the anniversary of the first episode of Lost, but it wasn't quite finished. So there is a new video coming up about Lost.
I wasn't interested in Lost.
I never rewatched it, but I know like my sister used to love it.
I
heard the ending isn't great.
Yeah, I did love it, and it was just it went on like when you've got a mystery, you can't just string people along and keep making it up. You've got to actually have a story.
Yeah,
So
it just seemed like the ending they just kind of just pulled out their ass.
Yeah, I mean, like I can't remember how many series there were. Like I think I stopped watching after like three series or so, 3 or 4 maybe.
I think there was.
And then,
let's have a look. I think there was like I want to say 6.
But yeah, then I did then tune in for the last episode because I was like, ooh, we're going to learn about it. We're going to learn about what happened. And
yeah,
it was
what a lot of bullshit that was.
Yeah, they did an Ashes to Ashes.
I've never seen that. I've watched the first series of Life on Mars, and I'm just currently watching the second season.
They are really
I've watched
good. Really
all of Life on Mars and only like 2 or 3 Ashes to Ashes episodes. So again, I don't really know Ashes to Ashes, but I do know Life on Mars.
Is it because I'm on at the second season, and I'm like, my guess is like he's just in a coma, and this is all in his head? Is that like along the right track, or?
Well, I'm gonna spoil it a bit now because I want to talk about it because I think it's a really cool series.
Okay.
It's a bit like that, but it's a bit complicated as well.
Yeah, it's complicated because So I can't remember what happens in what series, but like at some point he wakes up from the coma. Yeah, you're right there. But then when he's in because when he's in the coma world, he keeps seeing like the Doctor on the TV screen and stuff like that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And when he wakes up and he's in real world, and I put big quotes around that, he keeps then seeing Gene Hunt and people like that in TV screens, and he doesn't feel as alive as he did in coma world. And so that there's this whole what on earth is real thing going on.
I love that kind of stuff. It always fascinates me.
Yeah,
What was
so
it?
I can't remember. Did they ever explain which world was real, or did it was just left hanging? Wasn't it?
No,
He jumps again to try and get himself back to coma world.
Ashes to Ashes does give definite answers from what I remember.
Oh, okay.
From what I remember.
See, I don't. Yeah, I don't know then.
Yeah, I do like stuff like that. Like kind of left like up in the air, like sort of it kind of left for interpretation in a way.
Yeah, definitely. Like a listen in Doctor Who.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been really into like time travel stuff recently. I've been looking at loads of like sort of like time slips and like simulations. It's just I find it so fascinating.
You want to watch Goodnight, Sweetheart?
Yeah, like I've been looking at like loads of, like sort of time slip stories, like people who like it actually happened to them, like they kind of just very like suddenly or like very like for like a split like few minutes just suddenly found themselves back in the past, and then suddenly as quick as it happened they're back in the present. There's a street in Liverpool called Bold Street, and apparently that's one of the most sort of like time travel-y places in the UK where people experience the most sort of weirdest time slips. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Isn't there like a whole episode of Torchwood like that Ghost Machine? It was like the third episode of Torchwood where they got that machine, and when you press the button, you like slip back in time until you release the button.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you couldn't affect anything. You just kind of witnessed what was going on, and they used it to solve a crime.
Yeah, that's pretty much what people have said that has happened. There was, I think, the most
deluded.
The most sort of like, I guess, famous story. There was like a thief in 2006, I think it was, and he basically like shoplifted from a store, and he basically ran out the shop, and the security guard chased him, and the security guard knew because the guy basically ran around like this alleyway to like go and escape, and the guy was, oh, okay, well, he's basically screwed because there's a dead end there, and the guy said that when he went around an alleyway, he kind of sort of ran through the alley, and then he found himself like on the other side of the street, and he thought, oh great, I got away with it. And then he looked around and he noticed that like it was completely different. It was sort of like he was in like sort of the 1910s or something. Like people were dressed differently. It just looked different. There were different shops around. And so he tried his phone, but it didn't work. And then he went to go and look at a newspaper stand. And he noticed that like what the date was like 1910.
I mean, to be honest, if he was nicking a packet of fags from the co-op, he was probably off his head on spice or something. So I mean, I wouldn't take. But
then like that's the thing. Like so, that's the thing. You think that, and then he was back in the present. But it's the security guard. It said that when he ran around the alleyway to get him, the guy it was a complete dead end. But the guy completely disappeared, like he wasn't there at all.
I mean, there's always an explanation for these things.
You're such a skeptic.
Well, yeah. It's not that I'm a skeptic. It's just that I'm not so credulous that I believe every story I hear. If I'm being honest, it's it's not, things like that don't happen. It's physically impossible.
All right.
I met up with some friends from school actually yesterday, and we were talking about if you had a time machine, where would you go? Two of us said we'd go and visit Jesus, which was quite interesting.
I could see my parents when they were like my age.
Chuckle Brothers when they were alive.
Yeah,
one of them's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah, when they were alive.
Okay, sorry.
They were both alive.
One of them is like 10% power, but when they're together, it combines multiplicatively to add up to 100.
Oh yeah.
I'd actually go to the 80s and see what my parents were like.
They're both sort of like legends in their own right, but when you have both Chuckle Brothers together, that's when they are legendary.
The other one of us was there that said that because he was like into like all kind of maths and shit. He said he'd go and visit some like famous mathematicians and stuff in the past, And there's one famous one called Fermat who has this famous thing called like Fermat's last theorem. And we were saying you'd go there and you'd say like, oh wow, I really like this. Is your last? Oh, it's great to see your last theorem. And he'd just look at you and go like, what do you mean last? Like, like what, the Second World War guy?
That.
Yeah,
yeah. Is that moment in Twice Upon a Time with Doctor Who? Yeah. Alex? Have you watched Twice Upon a Time?
Yeah, I watched it when it first aired, but I haven't watched it since, so I don't remember much of it.
But no, yeah, just where Mark Gatiss's character just finds out it's the Second World War because it's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean, second?
Second, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, we did have to add the caveat that it is also a space machine. It's not just a time machine, because otherwise we just end up in 4 BC in Bristol, which wouldn't help. There's no Jesus.
Yeah, I wonder what that looked like. 4 BC in Bristol.
Trees and Celts.
Bristol was it even like a thing back then?
No.
When was that? When was Bristol? I don't know. It was like, when was Bristol founded? Oh my God, 1155. The oldest recorded name given to Bristol was, I can't even pronounce that.
Brookstone.
This, I can't even pronounce it.
Oh.
That wasn't what Bristol's original name was. Caer Odor?
Oh, Caerodor. Yeah, I remember reading that before.
It was then known as Brickstow from 1064 to 1204.
And the reason there's an L on the end is because of the Bristolian accent, changing Bristow into Bristol.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I think so someone said they wanted to they would want to go forward in time, but we talked them out of that because, of course, as everyone knows, in roughly 100 years, it will all just be rubble, and all the animals that are left will have evolved into crabs because everything is evolving into crabs.
Like crabs.
But everything is carcinification. Basically, the shape of a crab shape. Multiple different things have evolved into it, which suggests that it's the logical endpoint of evolution.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's how the macra got on you.
Exactly. Don't bother with the future. It's mainly crabs. Well, yeah. There's a bit with cats and blue people in the middle part, but after that, just crabs.
Yeah. Crabs all the way down.
Yeah. Underneath the macra is more macra.
Yeah, they're just crabs on top of each other.
They've got like this macro civilization in the motorway, and then in that civilization is a motorway with a load of macra stuck on it. Underneath that motorway is more macra. And so on.
Infinite macro loop. Yeah.
It's the macrocosm.
Love it. Nice. Fair.
Thanks, I'm here for another 20 seconds. So, any other biscuits?
Bombshell. No, I don't.
New. Live a quiet week, really.
Yeah. I don't think anything's happened. I told you about the snake, I told you about Danny DeVito, I told you about the crabs. Yeah, no, I think that's everything. All the important stuff. So thanks, everyone. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to tell someone about the podcast who doesn't already know about it. If you didn't enjoy it, also do that. You can find us, if you enjoyed hearing the noises that come out of our throats, such as and then you can find us in various different places. I'm at Invisible Tower. Ozzy is at TS Reactions. Alex is also here.
Here.
Yeah, I don't have them.
And you can email us, contact@invisibletowers.net. The only thing we had this week was someone from a podcast directory saying, "We've added your podcast to our directory. Thanks."
Oh, that's
whoever
nice.
you were. You can get us anywhere you get your podcasts, such as iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Spotify again, Ghana in India, and I think the one in Russia, whose name I've forgotten, and also YouTube. So see you next time. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
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 No, bye.
Oh, bye. Bye.
Paella.
Bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye.
Ain't no lie, baby. Bye.
Baby, bye, 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 bye. We're sad.
It was nice talking to you guys. I
Did
don't know if what's going on, Rich.
He comes and goes.
Yeah. Well, again, he is also setting up a new house at the moment.
Isn't that what his missus says? He comes and goes. It's fine.
Well, he didn't come and go. They moved in together. He came and stayed.
Okay, yeah. Oh Christ, yeah.
I was going to say, like, they have probably been like saying.